And so I wanted to welcome everyone and say I'm totally thrilled today to introduce today's speaker. Some of you, many of you, let's say, know and love her, and someone I call a very close personal friend. She's a cherished member of Connecting Consciousness, Sue Cimino, and she's an integral part of our community. Beyond her involvement with us, Sue is an accomplished author, a speaker, intuitive, and a visionary whose work as a wholeness activator has touched the lives of people around the world. She's also a frequent guest on Becky's Sacred Wisdom podcast. Sue is passionate about empowering others to remember the incredible beings they truly are and to live with grace, love, and authenticity. Through her unique gifts and compassionate insights, she helps people rediscover their innate wholeness and unlock their full potential. Today, Sue is here to share her wisdom with us in this special session, Discovering Grace and the Truth of You. We're in for a powerful, transformative experience, and I can't think of anyone better to lead us through this than Sue. She's a dear friend. I love her dearly, and she's a valued member of this organization. So, welcome, Sue.
Good try to make me cry. It didn't work. I am so excited to be here. And thank you so much, Chris and Angela, for inviting me. You have no idea the perfection of the timing. Like to start off 2025, it's perfect timing for the subject. And okay, so some of you don't know me, so I'm going to give you the quick and dirty background, okay? And then we'll get into um this much stuff squished into 45 or minutes or an hour, all right? I was an accountant. I was a workaholic accountant. I had a mystical experience, an awakening. I started wandering around the world, searching for truth, searching for my purpose. I ended up in a spiritual community for 9 years, Course in Miracles. I was called to Tasmania. And when I went to Tasmania, I started having real mystical experiences. All of that's in my book, if you're interested. And yeah, it was very interesting. Galactic portals and all sorts of strange things. And somewhere in throughout all of that, I was told, I would say in the 90s, I was told I was on the planet for the quantum leap for humanity, that humanity would go through a quantum leap. And I was, that's why I was here. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do? And I didn't know what a quantum leap would be. And back then, nobody talked about ascension or dimensions or anything else. And so I just went on my little search. 28 years I went searching around the world, trying to figure out I'm a rock. What am I supposed to be doing? All of that stuff. What I discovered later was I was being trained all the way to do what I'm here to do. And I'll do it this way. When I was in Tasmania, I made a connection with a circle of consciousness involved with creation. Not beings, it's consciousness. And they showed me how to cure myself of Lyme disease, cure myself. They didn't do it. And then as I worked with other people with Lyme, they kept showing me, teaching me every single session. They were showing me more and more places where humanity gets blocked from remembering the truth and being all that, reaching your full potential. And so my little accountant mind just kept track of all those things I was learning. And the wholeness alignment landed. It landed 10 years ago. And 3 years ago, I was invited to present the wholeness alignment to CC members. I've been doing it monthly for 3 years now. Isn't that amazing? 3 years, but it's monthly, it's free. And um, that idea that we were going to go through a quantum leap. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but we're in the quantum leap. Like we are in this time of momentous epic change. And how are you doing with that? I want to share the screen for a minute and just show you one thing. Chris, before the yesterday, I think she said, "Oh, I posted that quote of yours." I didn't ever. I'm like, "Oh, good. I want to see what I said." And so I went and had a look. Up, can you see that? No. There. Let's try that. Come on, old computer. The more we remember the truth about ourselves and the support we have, the easier it will be to ride the waves during the challenging moments. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we're in the challenging moments. So tonight we're talking about discovering the truth of ourselves and the support that we have. Now, I'm going to shift. I got papers all over the place, but it will work. The truth of you is already true. You have already been created. What you are, how you are, who you are, the truth of you is already true. You're already that. It's not something that you need to find. It's not something you need to uncover. You don't have things in the way of you being that. And in fact, nothing can change the truth of you. You are also an integral part of oneness, of all that is. We're all in there. And there's nothing you can do to not be included in oneness. So the only issue is remembering, is discovering, is embracing what's true about you and about your connection to the divine and to all that is. That's the only challenge. Like what's missing? um, what's keeping us from remembering? What's keeping us from discovering and reaching our full potential? Like there must be something, because if you look at humanity across the board, there's this overwhelming, and I know you guys aren't you aren't typical of all of humanity right now. You guys have all, like, you already know a lot of this stuff. Sorry, I'm singing to the choir, but sometimes it's good to be reminded, or in somebody else's way of saying it. um What's keeping us from remembering and moving into our full potential is programming, baggage, subconscious stuff, agreements. It's all this stuff under the surface. It's all subconscious, because if you were conscious of it, you would have dealt with it. Because I know this group, CC, like you would have dealt with it if you could find out what it was. And so that's what makes it really, really difficult to get to the bottom of the, how many of you, like you have an issue and you peel it, you peel it, you peel it, you peel it like an onion that you never get to the bottom of. And getting to the bottom of all of that subconscious stuff sounds really daunting. People have gone through decades of therapy. They've gone and tried, all kinds of different meditations or pathways, or, you know, uh, drugs, or, like there's so many ways that people have tried to get to the bottom of it. And it's really not that difficult, because you have free will and you have the power to choose. Now, the problem there is you don't really remember how powerful your free will is. And from the very beginning, while they were showing me how to offer this wholeness alignment, I always knew it's not for me to do something to someone else. It's for me to empower or facilitate. So I ask lots of questions and you make choices. You make choices for things you didn't even know you could choose. And that's the key. And we'll get to some specific things at the end, but you need to reclaim your free will and your right and your power to choose for yourself. And I'm going to give you some ideas about some of the things you can choose for, because it's not like in The Secret manifesting this, that, or the other. It's not like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, because that, if you've gone that way, you'll find out that won't really make you happy because unless what you're choosing is in full alignment with you at the highest level, you at the highest and best, your divine self. Like if it's not in alignment with that, it will just lead you down this road or that road, and then you're gonna end up getting a 2x4 or, something that pushes you back into onto the path that you chose for yourself. It's been interesting during this period of time because without understanding or knowing that we can choose, that we have power, that we have the right to move into alignment and fulfill what we chose for ourselves. Without knowing that, people don't know quite what to do with themselves. There's a lot of treading water or making do, not rocking the boat, having a nice enough life, comfort zone. Okay. We look at the past, we go, okay, it's going to keep marching along like that. I've got, my retirement, I've got things all laid out. So, and it's like we're going in through exponential times. Like if you look agrarian to industrial revolution to technological revolution, the change is exponential and it's not slowing down anytime soon. We've been gearing up for this quantum leap. And so if you have that sense of, okay, I've got my status quo, this is my safety net, this is my comfort zone, and trying to just hold on to that, stay in that, be comfortable in that, don't rock the boat, don't let anything interfere. Um, it's going to make going through this quantum leap a lot more challenging. My suggestion is let's go for a quantum comfort zone. And that's what I want to talk about. How do we get from where we've been with all of this subconscious stuff that's held us back, made us feel like not good enough, small, little, there's lack, all of, I can't, I shouldn't, no, don't do that, all of that. Without, it's possible to move beyond all of that, even if you don't know what it is, so that you may move into a quantum comfort zone. Now, I want to talk about quantum comfort zone just a smidge. My idea, you all know, any of you that have been to any of my things, wholeness, for some reason, wholeness is the best word I know to describe the place that I want to be. And it works both levels. So if I'm within oneness, like oneness is whole. There's nothing outside of it. It's whole. It's all that is. It's oneness. If there was something outside of it, there would be a two-ness. This is a oneness, right? And but I also want wholeness within me. And that's what's been so evasive for humanity because of all of this subconscious stuff has us looking outside so much, trying to fill or trying to find or trying to solve, that we have lost connection with ourselves. When I've gone back working with individual people back through different cultures, when I go back way back in the ancestral lineage, what I find is humanity. Um, oh my God, we are so beautiful. We are loving. We are connected. We're connected deeply within ourselves. We're connected to the divine, to our creator. We're connected to the earth. We're connected to each other. We have compassion. We care. We're brilliant. We're creative. We're resilient. Oh my goodness. And that's our natural, that's what we are naturally. And we're not going into why did this happen this way, but there's a lot of, I'm going to say crud. They just popped that word in there. There's a lot of crud in on this subconscious level that has blocked all of our pathways, that has disconnected us, that has made it difficult for us to just be whole. And when I think of the optimal, all right, it's it's a foundation of being, like within me, a foundation of being. I'm talking for all of us, but within me, a foundation of being connected to the divine, fully connected to me, fully integrated into my physicality, because this is where I am. And that foundation of being, it's like a luminous light body with a tap root into into your divine self and source beyond, and also a taproot down into the earth and into physicality, because this is where you are. And with that foundation of being strong, this is your wholeness alignment. With that strong, you can surf any change. You can surf this chaotic times. You can surf this quantum leap, because it's not um, looking outside for something to um, keep it safe. It's not looking for, oh, I contrived this little comfort zone. It's not, it's just imagine, think of the surfers out on the big waves and they're having a ball. That is where we're going and what we're becoming. And so we've just got a couple of little rough edges that need knocked off so we can really fully embrace life in capital letters. Embrace life, be fully alive, be fully filled with the energy of grace, of divine, of love, of joy, all of those things. Um, I want to say something more about wholeness, and I'm going to do it real quick. I wish it would do it quicker than that, but whatever. Come on, it's the next one down. Nope. Here, it's this one. Grace. Not grace. Wholeness. It's the state of a complete and harmonious whole, unity, the state of being unbroken and undamaged. Now, when I was thinking about how I wanted to present this, the question is always, well, how do I know how do I know where I am? And it's like when you have a moment, you've all had them, I suspect, but it could be fleeting, where suddenly it's like nothing needs to be different than it is right now. Like there's a contentment and and a joy and a fulfillment and a satisfaction. Like it's nothing needs to be changed, nothing needs to be different. And it's not what we generally experience. And yet, when you become whole fully, what would you change? So I want to go at it this way. I think wholeness. All right, I like that idea. I want that. That would be wonderful. How do I do that? Well, I think there's three main things, maybe four, but we'll start with three. Three things that will enable you to experience yourself as whole. You already are what you've been created to be. You're not lacking something, but you have a lot of crud is as good a word as any. Sometimes I use crap, whatever. You have stuff in there that's in the way so you can't tell. All right. But you're already whole and yet the experience of it. So the first thing, the key to wholeness, I'll do it this way, is alignment. We come into form and in some of us, well, I'll say more, some of us are more aligned than others. And I'm talking aligned with you at the highest level, one step out of creation. And it's like being in alignment like that, that's you up there. You said, okay, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to be, how I'm going to move through life. And you set it all up. You pick out your guides and helpers, you pick who your friends are going to be, who you're going to run into. And but when we come into form, like it didn't work quite the way we planned. And so we end up kind of like, like and we're going along trying really hard to do what we came here to do, but we're out of whack, we're askew, we're pointed the wrong direction. And the honest truth is, like you've got guides and helpers. You also have all of creation that's rooting for you, but they can't give you too much help because you're facing the wrong direction or and they don't want you to end up over there. So they keep doing things trying to get you. But once you come into alignment, and it's a choice, it's not that hard. Once you come into alignment, then all of a sudden there's so much help and assistance and support that can be given you because you're going the way you wanted to go. And so it's like, oh, woohoo, okay, we can help her do this. We can help, oh, bring that person in. Oh, give them that opportunity. Like things um, let loose in a really positive, wonderful way. And I know this is working because I can't tell you the feedback I get from people telling me all the little miraculous, amazing things that happen once they go through this alignment process. We'll talk about what you need to do in a minute. The second thing that you need besides alignment is you need to be open to grace. Now, grace is people say, what is it? It's divine, unconditional love, support, protection. Grace only wants what's in our highest and best. It wants us to be happy. It wants us to succeed. It wants to help us follow our path and fulfill whatever we chose for ourselves. And the biggest challenge with grace is most people don't believe in it. Like, oh, I was just lucky, or oh, that was just a coincidence, or they don't believe that it's possible. And I believe that everything is possible. I believe that every moment in your life can contain miracles and grace and amazing, miraculous, beautiful, exciting, and joyous things, even if it's simple, like finding a feather or making a connection or suddenly getting a brilliant idea that solves a problem that you've been, you know, working at. And we've all experienced moments of grace, but we tend to discount them because they don't like the world is filled with linear, common sense, it's just like it's a little bit uh more structured, and grace is not. Grace is fluid. Grace is you can't you can ask from grace, you can ask for grace. You can't have dominion over grace. You can't direct grace. Like, and the majority of us, hello, I'm left brain accountant, you remember? It's like we have these ideas. Okay, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to plan this. This is how it's going to work. This is how I'm going to get from here to there. And what when I've done that, I have completely pushed grace out of the picture because I had my plan and grace wasn't allowed to bring me anything better. And what I know now, grace always has a better idea. It always has something awesome, like jaw-dropping, like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Um, it's like when you suddenly find your keys, when you can't find them and you're like, and you've given up and you're about ready to call the fire department. And then suddenly, you look where you never look. And it's like, oh my God, how did you make me do that? How did you make me look there? It's like, once you start in this process of aligning and open up to grace, grace will assist you and support you as you're moving along your unfolding adventure. And it doesn't mean you're not going to have challenges, doesn't mean you're not going to have problems. In fact, that's almost the fun. A challenge arises. Oh, what am I going to do with that? Or, oh, I double booked. How am I going to handle that? And then you just give up your ideas about it. You stop trying to um, dictate it and just allow. You kind of melt into not knowing and allowing, and more possibility, more opportunity arises. And you go, oh, wow, thank you. It's very interesting because the more you recognize grace and get excited about it, the more it comes to you. When you just push it aside and never look at it, it's like it's not as much fun. They don't want to come go to all that trouble. You're not even going to notice. It's like, but when you start noticing, your guides and helpers, like it all comes in and loves on you in ways that will make you so happy and grateful. I'm blown away all the time. And it's not, this is, grace is something you need to like learn to work out your grace muscles a little bit. You need to like look back at your life and look for those moments that were miraculous or synchronistic or beyond what you could have dreamt up. Because grace usually, almost always, gives you more than you would have given yourself. And when you start looking back and seeing those, something pays attention and goes, oh, they're starting to notice grace. Let's give them some more. It's like it's exercising your grace muscles. It gets so that it's like I live in grace almost all of the time. It's not that I never fall out, but when I fall out, I can't say immediately. Sometimes I can go days making myself miserable. But when I recognize I've fallen out, like, oh, okay, then it gets easier and easier to slip back in. And I wish I had time to share with you some of the amazing stories that people write me, because when they've started allowing unknown solutions, unknown possibilities, when they start going, well, I wonder, things happen. I I know there's guys in here. I've heard your stories. It's like it is, I believe it's the way life will be as we move through this quantum leap. We will become more and more in that field, because grace is a field. I love that I said that. Grace is a field. It's an energy field that is, we have all this programming for there's not enough, there's lack, it's going to be hard. I have to struggle. No one's going to want to help. I can't do that. I shouldn't. And grace is not any of that. Grace is like possibility and solutions and blessings, gifts. And so I'll say more at the end, but I'm going to give you this part right now. You can ask for grace anytime, any challenge, any situation, anything that becomes a struggle, you can ask for grace. how can I deal with this? Is there another possibility? How do I come up with that money? How do I, what is? So ask for the help. You don't need to know what the help is. You don't need who to ask, how to ask, nothing special. And then ask for help to receive the help that is being given. Because my experience is many of us in that programming, we deny ourselves the help that is being given us freely. So ask for the help and ask for help to receive the help. All right. Okay, give me a second. I love this. This is one of my favorite graphics ever. And what it said was something like, grace finds us wherever we are, but it doesn't leave us there. And in my experience, grace is the bridge over any chasm. And like I said, it's not that it's always, you don't get necessarily get your way. It's not that it's not challenging. It can sometimes be a struggle, but grace, um, the universe, creation, all that is, source, God, your guides and helpers, like it, there's grace has your back. Grace has your highest and best in mind. All right. I love that. Someone says when they say thank you for the grace, when they have an experience, they can feel the acknowledgement. I totally agree with you. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Um, so the third thing you need, so you need alignment, open to grace, and you need to own yourself. And this one is the one that it's definitely challenging because the majority of the stuff blocking you from knowing the truth of you is subconscious. And it's like that's not easy to get to. I love it. Jean Houston has a great story where we humans were designed to be like a Stradivarius, top $1 million, top of the world, highest level of violin, and yet we all play like plastic ukuleles, tink a tink a tink a tink. And it's like, what is it that allows an instrument that's so perfect and divine go dink a dink a dink a dink? That's the stuff we're looking for. That's the stuff we want to, um, and it goes beyond just loving yourself. You have to own yourself. You have to recognize, you have to reclaim your free will and make choices for yourself, for your highest and best. And I realize it's like we mostly don't think about that because we don't really like you don't wake up in the morning and go, "Oh, this is what I'm going to use my free will for today." We just don't. We just sort of toddle along, allowing life to buffet us around, even if we're more spiritual, even if we're doing pretty good. Have we really gotten past all of that, wow, the things pulling us under in the water? Give me a second. I know where I'm going. The thing with owning yourself is it's about allowing the truth of you to emerge. And I've already said there's all this subconscious stuff. That's what needs to get cleared. And just for grins, the subconscious stuff, it can be agreements, lots of programming, a lot of baggage left over from a lot of that needs forgiveness and that kind of stuff. There's a real false sense of self, that we're powerless, that we're a victim, that it's beyond my control, that I'm not enough. Like all of that in there is what holds us back from owning ourselves and owning the beautiful, miraculous, awesome being that we are. And how many of you, like especially in your childhood, but even now, when you start to go, oh wow, oh wow, I'm Ooh, look at, you see yourself for an instant and then you go, oh, that's so blasphemous. Oh, oh, no, no, no. Like, oh, I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to be full of myself. I don't want to, like, we don't allow ourselves to see ourselves truly and honor ourselves and love ourselves and respect ourselves and care for ourselves and appreciate ourselves. Like there's so much there. Now, I understand that the subconscious stuff gets majorly in the way of that. And this is my challenging part of this talk. And like because I've given you the things like, okay, this is what we're going for. Alignment, wholeness, alignment, grace, owning ourselves. But then how do you do that? And I'm going to add, this could be the fourth one. There's a way that you take responsibility. And this is a hard one for people to get immediately. But if you're powerless, then you have no responsibility for yourself. You're a victim, you're powerless, then you can't help yourself. Whereas if you go, oh, no, I have free will, I have power, I can make choices, even if you don't even know how to do that. But just making that declaration for yourself, you've taken the power back. And I know it sounds weird, but I've been in situations that when I do that, everything around me changes. It's noticeable. And so we tend to wanted things like we want to be handed a recipe. Okay, what do I do? Okay, I do step one and then I do step two and then I do step three. Well, it isn't going to be quite like that because we're all different. We've set ourselves up um to move through this in different ways. So this is what I'm suggesting for all of you. So let's do it with alignment. Well, let me say this first. When you ask, oh, I wonder how I would do that. Oh, I wonder what this, when you ask a question, the answer is already heading back to you. I don't know if you've ever noticed. I started noticing it when I was 5. When I was 15, the answer started coming back. When I got in my 20s, maybe it would take 6 years. Like the answers get quicker and quicker. But when you ask, you get a response and it may take what it takes. You may miss it a few times, but that doesn't mean don't ask. And this is part of taking responsibility instead of just going, okay, well, she didn't tell me what I could do. No, ask, what can I do? I would like make a declaration. I choose to be fully aligned with my divine self, my highest and best, myself in the highest. Don't go higher. What's higher than higher? Okay, go highest. I choose to align fully with my divine self, my highest and best. That's a choice you can make. Can you make it happen? Choose it first and then start asking, what do I need to do to have that come into fruition, to have that actualize? Where do I need to go? What do I need to do? Who should I talk to? When you start asking for assistance on the pathway, for support, for guidance, direction, clarity, you will start finding things falling in your path. Oh, oh, wow, I should go find out more about this. Or, oh, this person said, oh, I did this and it was great. Or this person said, oh, I did this and it was crappy. Like you start getting input, feedback, guidance, clarity. You don't get to pick where it comes from. And I love it because it comes from all over the place. I've had guys at Whole Foods handing out wieners to taste. Give me a message about Tasmania. Like you just never know because spirit will use anyone that's open enough to get them to say something. So as you ask, I want to align. What is it I need to do? How do I find my way there? What's blocking my alignment? If something's blocking my alignment, this one, I'm going to give you a warning though, because I did this one. But if something's blocking my alignment, bring it to my awareness in a time and space where I have everything I need to deal with it. But do it in a way so that I've got, like help me with it as well. And what I discovered, and this was over probably over a decade, it might have been over the, like inch by inch, something, they would show me, okay, now you got to get over this. Now you got to forgive this, that kind of stuff. Um, Grace. I want to experience, I choose. You can say it a couple different ways. I choose, I want, it is my will. Um, some people don't like want, but they know what I mean. It is my will to have, to experience more grace in my life. Help me to see the grace. Am I missing grace somewhere? Help me to recognize it. Help me to experience more grace. Help me to open the door for more grace. I don't know. I don't know if we'll have time. Like if you just go out into the woods or someplace that feels like wonderful and like let your edges melt, like relax and melt into the landscape. That softening is allowing in more grace. I only want what's in full alignment. That'll be your protection, but then open to grace and allow it in. Grace is not something I'm going to let it in and then I'm going to ask it a million questions because I want to know, what do I do? How do I, no, you will allow grace in and marinate in it, value it. Just um, as you wallow in it, that's as good a word as any, as you wallow in the grace for a moment, as you allow yourself to drop all of your expectations, your ideas of how things are going to work, as you relax into it, you may find ideas sparking, like inspiration, solutions, opportunities, or you may like you go on with your life, have things, somebody comes up to you and offers you something you were wishing for this morning. You don't know. And it'll probably, I have big ones, I have small ones. It doesn't matter. Notice them all and get really excited. But it's a softening and it's an opening. With grace comes more possibility. One of the things humans suffer from the most is limitation. There's not enough possibility. It's not, you're in a situation, you can't see a way out, so you think it's not possible. Drop the limitation, allow for the possibilities. You'll be amazed. All right. Um, Help me to receive the help, the support, the gifts, the blessings, the miracles, the grace. I ask that every single day. I'll tell you what I do every single day. I choose. I don't say I choose anymore. I am fully aligned with my divine self. If you're new at this, I choose to align fully with my divine self. Um, I ask for miracles, grace, gifts, blessings, and I ask for help to receive all of that. I ask for help to receive everything that comes to me in support of my wholeness and of my divine expression, which would be my path. I ask for help to receive what would support that which I most want, which is my wholeness and fulfilling my mission. I choose to be free. Here's another good one. This is for owning yourself. I choose to be free of what binds me, of what blocks me, hinders me, harms me, limits me. Help me find, help me discover how to be free of those things. And um, I, a lot of you have gone through the wholeness alignment, and I have to think of how I can say this in a really good way. You know, you'll be called to many different things. I feel like when they gave me the wholeness alignment and the map journey and some of the other work, it was new technology. I know I am not the only one on the planet with new ways of dealing with these things. That's why I want you to ask, like, who should I go to? What should I do? Where should I go? Is it a meditation, a book? Should I go see Sue's website? Whatever. Do you know, like, you'll find your way, and trust your sense of rightness as you move along your path, because you already are what you were created to be. You are awesome. You are brilliant. You are creative. You are divine. You are loving. You are lovable. You're precious. It's like you are. So allow that. I used to ask for this all the time. Give me a sense of rightness, because I'm a rock. I don't hear, I don't see, I don't sense energies. Give me a sense of rightness to help guide me on my way. And they have. Like, if that's all you can get that. Or have somebody come up and say something weird to you and use that as your sign. Signs work too. We all have different ways of receiving direction, and you just have to um figure out what your way is. Do you get tingles? Do books fall off the shelf? Do you get jolts? Do you cry? Like, um, goosebumps, whatever. It's like, start noticing your way. And then when that happens, pay attention. All right. Okay. I'm going to try to, let me see. I'm getting close. Nope. I got 7 minutes. She's not going to shut me down yet. Please guide me through this process. You know what? And I'll be honest, throughout all of it, part of I have a commitment. I, I ask that what I do this day not only blesses me, but blesses all of humanity, blesses the earth, and blesses all of creation. I came here to be of service, and that is part of what I of a part of what I state each and every day, so that everything is guiding me to my fullest expression of what I came here for. Now, I'm getting really close. Besides taking responsibility and asking more than you have ever before, ask, okay, this is what I only want what's in full alignment. So don't ask for the Porsche if it's not in full alignment. Um, but when you have stuff comes up, like often when you're in this period, oh shoot, okay. I'm sorry, I need to often during this period, something will come up that says, oh, you can't, oh, you're full of crap, oh no, meh. Grab it and go, okay, why do I believe that? Who said that? Why do I believe you? Like, why would I, like, no, out. Like, don't let it undermine, don't let it derail. Like, you're going to start seeing the ways that those limiting programming, whatever, start jumping up in your mind. Grab them, look at them, and then put them in their place. Like, recognize their powerlessness and the lie that it is. Because you can't be a Stradivarius violin and this be true. It's just not. Okay. Um, I had a great thing at the end and I have no idea where it is. Oh, well, they want me to tell you that one thing. Okay, here's the one thing I need to tell you. And I'm sure there are other people on the planet doing it. uh, Clearing a lot of the stuff does not have to be daunting. Like, it used to be years and years and years of therapy, and still you were still struggling with it. There are ways to move into a state of grace and make choices that will immediately unravel karma, break agreements, and clear stuff. And it is you making decisions for you, but you have to do it in a state of grace and get somebody to help you find all the questions you need to ask. So if you want more information about what I do and how I do it for CC, just go to my website. I think I might be ready for questions and we are in such a challenging time, and we I love CC because we all came here because we have a spiritual connection and we care about humanity, we care about the earth, and we want to help make the change. And I love it because I always feel like we're all getting ready because in a moment the floodgates are going to open and we're really going to be called to step up and be our full divine expression. So good luck getting ready for that. All right.
Thank you, Sue. As always, it's so wonderful to hear you speak. We do have some questions, and I do ask people, but please post your questions in all caps. There's always a running chat going on, and it's hard for us to pick out what are questions and what are just comments. So if your question is directly for Sue, please place it in all caps in the chat, and we'll try to get to as many questions as possible. Chris, do you have a question you want to start with?
Sure. I think first, if it's okay, I'm just going to make a little quick announcement here because Sue's last comment, I think she was trying to be very tactful and advertise the process that she does, which is a wholeness alignment process. So I think probably many people on this call have participated in that. So I feel comfortable saying this because Simon and Becky have approved as Sue to do this process. And over the years, she's done it many times for many different CC groups. So I just wanted to mention if there's those of you who are on the call who feel called to go through that process, almost all of the things that Sue talked about here she sets up the process and helps facilitate that process in a way that you're making the choices, but she and what she affectionately calls her guys make it really really easy to do. Like, I'm always awed at how Sue comes up with the questions that she comes up with that helps you then to make decisions about agreements that you want to break and things that you want to clear. So I just wanted to mention that. I know Debbie put her website out there, so anyway,
And
hope
it's
that's okay to
free.
say. So it
And
is
it's
free.
free
It's
to CC members.
yeah, it's always free to CC members. So anyway, yeah. As Sue mentioned, there's other people who do these types of things, but just wanted to mention that. And then on the questions here. So Sue, I'm going to put two questions together because there are a couple of questions asking for a little more information about grace, and they're similar. So the first question says, you described grace as unconditional love, support, protection. Then you referred to it as a sort of sentient presence and a field. Is it an aspect of divine source? Is it the atmosphere? Is God's source? And then the other similar question says, you speak of grace as if it is a person or being or spirit. Is grace God or a part of God?
Ooh, I love those questions. Um, when I first when I first discovered grace, I had no idea for decades. But when I first was aware, I called it agape, which is divine unconditional. It is a quite a more religious word, and eventually they shifted me over to grace as a more easily accessible word for anybody of any spiritual discipline. It is definitely um a field of divine energy that is only loving, supportive, protective. Is it God? Um, you know, I don't know that I need to make that declaration. You know, I I let God and grace can work that out up in the mailroom. It's just like I just know. I don't know. I think that might be as good an answer as you're going to get out of me.
Well, someone has a question that goes along the same line. Someone questions, is grace the same as synchronicity?
I think synchronicity is a real low grade. Like synchronicity, grace can appear as synchronicity. I wouldn't call synchronicity grace. I think synchronicity is how we name it in a smaller frame rather than let it be this magical. To me, grace is alchemical. It is magical. It can transmute for the good always. And what I know as you strengthen your grace muscles and open more and more to grace, you'll find that your animals are going to want to lay on you. Your plants are going to do better. The people start coming up to you in the grocery store. You become like when you start receiving it and not even trying to do anything with it, it will start kind of floating out from you to everything around you and having an effect. And I love that because you can't contain grace. When you breathe it in and receive it, you can't contain it. You can't tell it what to do. You can't send it anywhere. But it's going to start. I use the picture, Pigpen, when Pigpen would walk along and there's these clouds of, well, grace is that way too.
Thank you. So, okay, a change of topic here and a big question. Can you speak about January 25th?
You know what? I can't because I don't know much. I just thought it was very interesting. I set up the tune-up and then suddenly I saw something come through with this planetary alignment. It's funny because somebody just sent something in my email debunking January 25th. I don't know, but some of you, I was alive during the harmonic convergence back in like the 80s, probably 86, and that's when I had my awakening experience. So is this a big deal or not? I don't know, but I love that it's on the date of the tune-up. And I'll have to say the last two tune-ups have been stellar, like shockingly so because my guys are busy. They're not busy, but they're assisting us in preparing to go through this quantum leap in ways that are quite palpable. And yeah, there's a new can of worms.
Thank you for that. I have a rather long question, so bear with me. It says, how do you recommend we split or divide taking care of ourselves, giving ourselves grace, and yet being charged enough to help others? Again, as a giving people, this person wants to prevent burning out. She says, I tend to find myself on the brink of exhaustion before I say, when did you allow yourself the grace to focus on you and you alone and turn off the giving and give to yourself?
Well, you know what? The truth is when you give, when you're not full and you give, you're giving lack. You're not giving fullness. Like people are always like, I want this, I want that, I want to know my purpose. It's like until you have that foundation of being, until you're aligned and fully integrated, until you allow grace to carry you, to fill you, to support you, you don't have a full complement to give from. So it isn't a matter of, I understand it's hard because there's something in the programming that says, oh, you're a good person if you give and blah, 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 blah. Be selfless, be a martyr, all of that stuff. And it's like, no, you're just self-depleting is not what you want to give another. When you allow yourself to be filled, you don't even have to work hard to support or give to others. It will just be flowing over, overflowing. Um, I understand, and I'm just sitting here going, am I good at that? You know, because I don't always do what I need to do for me, but if you listen when you feel the thing that says, no, don't take that new thing on, listen to it and say, I'm sorry, I can't do that right now. We are in, sorry, we're in the beginning of, there's we're going through this quantum leap. We can't take that old programming and that old, oh, I should be a good person and do this and this and this. I've always given this and this and this. Like, allow things to morph and change. It will do it this way. When you're in conflict over, okay, I can help or I can help, do something for me. I want a win-win situation. Ask, I want a win-win situation so that everyone is taken care of in their highest and best. And then see how it sorts out. You may find that they suddenly don't need your help or whatever, like all possibility. Hopefully that was helpful.
Thank you, Sue. Well, I love that request for the win-win situation. Okay, so the next question, does it go better when you meditate? So I'm not sure what it is, but I'll leave that question
I
with
can
you.
answer that question. You know what? If you're a meditator, then it goes better if you meditate. I can't meditate. I have meditated. I I I have forgiven myself for not being a meditator. And I'm saying this so that those of you who are not meditators do not go, oh, you need to meditate, go meditate, when you guys asked the question, so I'm going to answer it. If you look at how spirituality has evolved, like there was an absolute place where meditation was so important to get people to calm down and to transcend the chaos and the craziness and whatever. I have to say, when Jesus came in, he was not a transcender. A meditation tends to be transcendent. He was not a transcender. He was a transmuter. I believe, like many of us, we're transmuting. That's why we have to see and know so much of the really awful stuff going on underneath the radar, not under ours, but we have to see it and recognize it, and remember there's grace, there's truth, there's the quantum, like remember that transmutes that energy. It's so like there's so much fear. No, if don't be pulled into the fear. If you get pulled into the fear, don't go there. But if you can, recognize it and then remember wholeness, remember love, remember grace. That's transmuting. That's what Jesus did. And who knows where we go from there. So you can meditate or not, but I would not. My guys don't even like, but somebody tried to put music to my morning audio and they don't like that because it gets people to kind of go into a lull or whatever. And it's like, no, when I sit quiet and tune in almost every day, but I get quiet and then there's information coming in, whatever, like there's stuff going on. So don't beat yourself up if you have one of those minds that's pulling in solutions and putting things together, not in a doing way, but in a, wow, okay. Okay, hopefully that helped.
So here's another question. Someone asked, do your guys give you any information after the alignment on how those who attended did, and if there were any aha moments? This person's first alignment with you, she had tears flowing down the entire time and really didn't understand, but she felt great afterwards, and she thanks you for all that you give.
You know what? No, thank God. I do not have to, because I've done alignments up to 500 people. Australia, I love you. And there's no way I'm a rock. I don't see, I don't hear. So even I can have people in front of me. I don't see if you have entities in you or if you have this or that or the other things that we're going to break. I can't see that stuff. But I know, okay, break this, you do this, but that. And I'm saying if it's not in alignment, do you want to get rid of it? If it's not in alignment, do you want to get rid of it? You make the choice. Yeah, throw that out. Yeah. But it just happens. And then people write me later and go, oh my God, they feel so much lighter and clearer. That 60% of the people, that's the first thing out of their mouth. And so, no, I don't. And in fact, people write me and it's like, um, it's between you and your divine self, like whatever you're experiencing. And because you've made a choice to align with your divine self, the only things that will happen are what are in your highest and best to move you forward on your path. And I trust that. And but I don't have to figure it out. You can figure it out if you want, but you don't have to either if you don't want. And no, I'm not on Mighty Networks. I can see I am on Mighty Networks, but I don't have a presence there because I haven't had time.
I just want to let you know that many people are just thanking you for what you do. And I think they're so enthralled with what you've had to say. There are not a whole lot of questions. There's just more thankful, grateful, and sharing their feelings about participating in wholeness alignment.
Well,
So if you have questions, please put them in the chat in all caps. We'll pass it on to Sue. Really want to give you as much opportunity as we have here time to offer this so you can speak directly to Sue through your questions.
And so, Sue, I just wanted to add there's a lot of love and appreciation for the response that you gave with regard to meditation. Many people saying, I can't meditate either, so I'm going to stop beating myself up over that. So that's great. And then another question is, can you speak about forgiveness?
you know what? Forgiveness, yes, I could, but not in 7 minutes. Actually, I have 17 minutes, but I'm not going to do it right now. Forgiveness is so absolutely, absolutely important. And I have a forgiveness process that's the best I know. It works with people that say, oh, I've done that before, blah, blah. And if you join up for the mail list, you get access to some resources on my platform, and one of them is a video about forgiveness and the process. And it's accessible whether you've done the wholeness alignment or not, because forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Like, it is so powerful. And yeah, I was thinking about it earlier. It's like I can't get into forgiveness too much, but so much of what you carry in that subconscious, a lot of that could be forgiven and have something change in that. The other kinds of resources in there, I'll tell you this one. This will be whether you've done the alignment or not. I do a weekly thing where I clear and bless. I used to call it the darkness clearing, but I realize I'm also not only clearing, but I'm also blessing. People send in names of their loved ones. If you have children that have ever had night terrors, if you know somebody that's suicidal, even if you have dark thoughts, you have entities around, even if you have no idea and you just want to know, you can send that in. These guys won't have the link. If Bree or Monica or somebody in my team is in here, they can put the link in there. You just go in, you put it in. I do it once a week. And once you give me the name and birth date, or a name and a location, like an address. Once you give it to me, I do them every week. And I've been shocked. Now, it doesn't work 100% of the time, but I have had some shockingly miraculous feedback from people where their son, their adult child is no longer suicidal, or, I mean, where their grumpy aunt is no longer grumpy, just all kinds of stuff. So I want to throw that out as a possibility, because that doesn't take me time, doesn't cost you money, and it makes a difference for way more than just here. And if you don't have another question, I will say something more about the whole collective.
Go ahead and say what you have to say. I mean, we have a few more questions, but certainly I want people want to hear what you have to say.
Well, this is what I've come to know over, the 3 years of doing this, especially because I'm having these tune-ups in the map journey. It's like we as a group that have been going through the wholeness alignment and through these sessions, because we've been clearing so deeply all of this subconscious baggage, and people are really noticeably rising up into, oh, I remember what I'm here for. Oh, these things are, you know, we can't change things for the human collective, the collective unconscious, but as each one of us makes these choices and changes for ourselves, we affect, like we put new patterns of thought in the human collective. We also allow grace. The more we take it in, grace is wafting out into the human collective. And it's funny. It started about 8 months ago. My guys are just going, it's working, it's working, it's working. It's starting to shift the human collective beyond the people that come to these sessions, which that makes my heart sing. That, like, oh my God, how exciting is that? Um, and yet, simply put, it's about you as an individual reclaiming your free will and empowering yourself to be the highest and best, the most that you can be, that you decided for yourself. You don't have to worry about anybody else, but I can't help but get excited because it's like, oh my God, they told me it's working. Okay, what other questions?
Oh, I was trying to remember if it's my turn or Angela, so I'll just go. Could you say more about the 84 ascension you spoke of?
What's the 84? I don't remember 84.
I don't either.
So I've always,
I thought you said something happened in the 1980s.
oh, in 86, there was a harmonic convergence and it was a planetary alignment. And if you are aware of David Hawkins, he has a book called Power versus Force, and he muscle tests he has a map of consciousness, and under 200 was life negating and over 200 was life affirming. And 5 minutes before that convergence, humanity on average was at 195. And 5 minutes after that convergence, humanity was at 205. We clicked over into life affirming. And if you look, I don't know if he's still alive. I'm sure we have made a lot of ground since then. Yeah, I know there's a lot of sleepers still, but still there's so many that are really throwing off the baggage and the programming and remembering, oh my God, I am created to be um, amazing. And I'm going to say it this way. We each have our place, our thing that we came here for. Most of you are star seeds. You came in for this time and space, and you came in with a specific something that you knew was yours to do. I'm doing mine. You do yours. I don't care. And it can be nothing more than go be happy at the grocery store or take care of the homeless cats, or it doesn't matter. You can be discovering new technologies that change the planet. Like, I don't care. We each came with our place, and as you dump the stuff that's not true and allow yourself to emerge into the true you, you will be happy. You will feel fulfilled. It's going to be, beyond your wildest dreams. And if we all do that, like, it, so get to work. No, I'm just kidding.
Someone has a question that I think a lot of people might be interested in. He said, do you have knowledge about who your guides are, where they're come from? Are they ancestral or extraterrestrial?
I'm going to tell you what I know about my guys. Circle of consciousness involved with creation. In the beginning, that's all they would let me call them. And they are consciousness. They are not individuals. They're not individual guys at all. And involved with creation. I gotta assume that it's working for God, because of how they are, and and God, I've never, and the purity of what comes through. Like there's a purity of intention of what comes through that is focused on really blessing humanity as we go through this quantum leap. So that's so not extraterrestrial, not whatever else you said. It's and and I'm bad because I go because I can't hear and I can't see. Like I don't even that they even got through to me is a miracle. And I don't try to sort out the little things, just because it's like, okay, I could tell early on it would be criminal for me not to use both the grace, and this connection for the good of others. And so I do, but there's so much that I don't have answers for. But I have a sense of rightness and a gut feel, and I go with that.
Thank you. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to go with a different question because there have been lots of questions in the chat about your services, the wholeness alignment process, what days and times. And so Debbie and Monica, Bree, and I have been answering them the best that we can. And then somebody posted the question, and would you please have Sue let everyone know exactly how to sign up for a wholeness alignment and what is required prior to doing this? Her process is amazing. Her program is life-changing.
Am I allowed to answer that question?
Yes.
Okay. Um, if you go to my website, suecimino.com, on the event page, every single month there's a wholeness alignment, usually toward the beginning of the month. There's also, it'll say wholeness alignment, date and time. It'll say, watch this video first. It's a half-hour video, and you are required to watch that before you come to the wholeness alignment because it tells you more about the process so you know what you're going into. Because when you come to the wholeness alignment, it's about 3 hours. You don't get to ask questions. We do take a 5-minute break. That's it. Like we dive in because and the grace comes, and then I start asking you questions, and I ask you more questions than you ever thought possible, and you answer for your highest and best. um and and then you go integrate for a couple of days, drink lots of water and take some naps. And some people notice changes right away. Other people don't. I had somebody wrote me after 18 months saying, "Oh my God, you changed my life," but they didn't recognize it till then. Whereas, so did I answer all of that?
Yes, you did. There have been several people who asked about one-on-one sessions too. So we've answered that, but you might want to answer that yourself.
At this point, I only do one-on-ones in very extreme circumstances. And it's not by request. I mean, if you were under attack, I would test if I was able to help or not. And then, sometimes something else will come up and I'll hear it and I'll just say, "Hey, come talk to me for 15 minutes." I don't do one-on-ones, and I never do one-on-ones until after somebody's gone through the wholeness alignment, because so much is cleared in the wholeness alignment that until that's cleared and the dust settles, then the real important stuff won't show up. Um, the other thing is the wholeness alignment is required before you go to any of the other programs, but there's shocking number of replays for health and vitality, ancestral, sovereignty. There's the map journey, navigating wholeness in the field of grace, which a lot of these people have been through. It takes the wholeness alignment to the next level. Like all of that is for you to explore, but do it with your own, like watch the 30-minute video. Does this feel right for me? Go with your sense of rightness. If you need to step back for a while, step back for a while. If you need to step forward again, hey, I haven't seen you in 2 years. Can I come to a tune-up? Well, yeah. I trust you to know for you. You just need to trust you to know for you.
I think that's a great answer, Sue. And everybody is asking, and it's in the chat. Sue's website is suecimino.com. Please go there. It'll answer all your questions. You can go to her events tab to find out when the next event that you want to attend. And if you haven't attended a wholeness alignment, then you can attend one and follow up after that with the other courses that she offers.
And on the website is also a sign up for the mail list. We only send maybe one a week that just says this is what's coming up. Here's the links to register. A lot of people do that unless you're in Australia and have Big Pond, in which case you cannot get our emails. So sorry about that.
So I think we have time for at least one more question. Someone asked, you said we're in the quantum leap now. Do you feel it's happened since the new year came in? This person feels that a lightening in so many ways and more peace with everything.
I love that question. I think we've been in the quantum leap for a while. I don't think of the quantum leap as okay, this weekend we went through it. It's not like that date, like December 12th, 2021 or 2012 or, we've been gearing up to it. But I have to say, 2 weeks before the election, things got very strange feeling. A day and a half before the election, something lifted. It felt like we shifted timelines or something. And it has felt clearer, more open, more possibilities. It's like we went through that real tight spot and then it's opened up. And going into 2025, I don't think we're past all the rockiness, but I think it's going to be more amazing and easier than we imagine. Like just like going through the election, like going through the certification, things have been moving with a lightness. I think the quantum leap, like we're going to see this stuff rolling out for the next 5 to 10 years that are going to be the showing of us going through the quantum leap, but it's happening. And we're not alone. We're being helped every step of the way. It's really fun. Okay, one more minute. You got one question?
I wanted to give you an opportunity if there was anything you wanted to sum up with. You had something you said you wanted to finalize, but you couldn't find it. I wonder if it came back to you.
No, but I'll just say I've said most of it. I just want you to remember you already are perfect, amazing, precious, loving, loved, brilliant, resilient. You are everything that you came here to be. You don't have to go find it. We're just clearing a little debris so it can emerge. All right? Don't forget that you're already that. We want you to drop the plastic ukulele costume and start Stradivariusing it.
A lovely way to end. I tell you, I always love when you talk, I get goosebumps. So thank you so much, Sue, for all you do for us, all you share your wisdom with us. And I want to thank everybody else for coming and participating and asking all these great questions. And I hope you all come back for the next Worldwide Voices. So thank you again.
Well, and I just want to say thank you to all the people that already know me, because it was really nice seeing all the names and the faces. And it's like, oh, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I really do.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, Sue. Thanks, everyone.
Happy everything.